All right, welcome to the Fantasy Football MBAs. That stands for matchups, breakdowns, and analysis. It's your boy Steve here, and I am joined by,
T. Campbell online.
right?
Eric J in the house, week 3.
Okay, week three.
Sweet.
This is actually part two of our week three analysis. And first of all, I want to say, what a game on Thursday night! It was unbelievable. Did you see
Yeah. Yo.
it? Man, like when he threw the ball and the other dude caught it.
Like, one thing about it, the team that scores the most usually wins,
Yeah, man,
for sure.
and that's totally what happened last night, man. So,
For sure.
man, a tried and true formula.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
It's a numbers thing, really.
All right, man. So we're gonna get into part two of our week three starts and sits, and where we left off last time was in the middle of the Sunday games. So we're gonna hit y'all with the remainder of the Sunday games and the Monday night game. So without further ado, we will start with the Houston Texans against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Um, there's some fantasy goodness in
Lots of
this
fans,
game,
yeah.
I would say, right?
Absolutely.
Especially on the Pittsburgh side, I would say
Right.
for sure. Gotta start James Conner, man. You know, will he finish the game? I don't know, but
Who knows?
as someone who had James Conner last year, I I didn't have him week one this year, but as someone who had him last year, James Conner is actually good while he's in the game usually.
Mhm.
So he might get you 10 points before he gets injured.
Right.
So I'm gonna go ahead and start him. I can't trust Benny Snell. He's fumbled in 2 games in a row. Mike Tomlin does not like people who fumble the ball. So even if Connor gets hurt, I could actually see Jalen Samuel going into the game. So definitely don't trust Snell.
For a split second, I thought you were about to say Jerome Bettis. For like a split, for a split, just for a split second.
I think he plays for the Jets, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But I do like the receivers here. I like Deontay Johnson and I like Juju Schuster. I'm going to roll with them. The Texans defense has not looked great at all this season so far. I picked up Chase Claypool in a couple of leagues. He is a stash for me. I'm not going to risk it this game just yet. But if he does get another one of those touchdowns,
Right.
I might have to risk it, man. I might have to risk it, especially based on the matchup. So.
Right. If you get another one, he's the new old Will Fuller.
Man. And speaking of Will Fuller, man, I can't start him this week because he's another unknown. He left the game, he came back and then didn't get targeted. So my assumption is that he's still hurt, which is, he's Will Fuller, so of course he's hurt.
We said it early in the podcast season, man. It's like when he's out there, you better use him then.
Yeah.
Because he is literally on the injury clock. It's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Also on the Houston side, I'm not starting. This is a tough one because this is a guy who a lot of people drafted high, but I can't start David Johnson because the Steelers' run defense has looked phenomenal. He may get some opportunities in the passing game, but as far as rushing goes, I'm not expecting a big game from him. I would start Brandon Cooks though. So I feel like the Steelers' corners at times are a little, can be shaky at times, and they could give up, a big play here and there. I think they have a great defense, and the defense will score a lot, but I think they'll give up a play or two. And I think I'm gonna roll with Brandon Cooks on that because I just don't trust Will Fuller this week. So, what do you guys have for this game?
I slightly disagree with you on that. I don't trust Will Fuller, but I think Houston may throw the pass to set up the run. I know that's counterintuitive but they cannot abandon the run, or their season is going to be done. They have to have a balanced offense because what's starting to happen and is showing very early on, they're making Deshaun Watson do too much, and it's out of necessity at most of the times, but it's about half necessity, half frustration,
Right.
and it's like he's trying to make a dollar out of 15 cents, and he coming up short, and it's starting to get raggedy and frayed around the edges from an offensive, polished offensive standpoint. And it's I'm not gonna say it's starting to beg the question because that question was been begged. Like you need a coach and you need a GM. You don't need a GM coach, a coach. You don't need that. You
Right.
need two different people because it's looking like Bill O'Brien, jumped the shark there, letting D Hop walk, and or not letting him walk, but trading, the cornerstone of your offense. David Johnson, he looked good week 1, but he had a ran into a wall literally week 2, and the Pittsburgh defense isn't the Pittsburgh run defense isn't the get well tablet for a running back, an old running back at that.
Not at all, man. So, are you rolling with him or not? Are you going?
I got to roll with him.
With that,
I'm a David.
Listen,
I'm a David Johnson owner. I got to at this point.
Okay.
Because I lost Christian McCaffrey. I'm just running back.
Okay. So you're just trying to talk into it in existence.
I mean there are other fantasy owners outside of myself. So I'm just if you have option other than David Johnson this week, I would feel safe. Worst case or best case scenario, moving him down to the flex. Just in case, they, get, start dumping off a bunch of passes or something. I don't know.
For sure.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, T. Cam. I agree. I think David Johnson, he's still, got some value, and it's just with their like receiver and tight end situation, they just really don't have like a consistent weapon other than Cooks and Johnson. So I think you can still be confident about David Johnson this week, although they are facing they went against the Ravens last week and things didn't go well. And I think with Pittsburgh, it's still going to be tough sledding, but I think you can still roll with them.
Okay. Big game from James Conner. I mean, you can run all over that team. So, man, if you got him and he doesn't get hurt, then it's going to be great. But next game is the Colts and the Jets. You know how I feel about the Jets. I can't start anybody on this team. The only person just on the team, period, that's worth anything is Jamison Crowder, and it sounds like he's going to be out. He hasn't practiced all week. Adam Gase, he's trash. He's the worst coach ever. He's going to get fired this year. Hopefully he gets fired after this game. So I like the Colts to run away with it with my boy Jonathan Taylor, who I have in every single league.
Folks, double, triple down on Taylor this week.
Yeah, and
bet on the house.
So what I'm seeing here is I'm not trusting Nyheim Hines this week. Last week he really wasn't in the game script, in a game in which they were pretty much in control. So I feel like that's going to be their thing. I think Nyheim Hines is going to be used in like maybe shootouts or something like that, but I don't think they really need him. If Mo Alley Cox plays, I say you start him as well. Stay in there with T.Y. Hilton. T.Y. Hilton, he dropped a 50-yard touchdown last week. So if he gets that,
that won't happen again.
His week looks totally different if he gets that. So he's going against the Jets, man. Start him. So
right.
That's what I'm gonna roll with. I don't know about Pittman just yet. So I'm not gonna start Pittman this week. Yeah, that's it.
That's all you got for this week?
That's all I got for that game.
Oh, okay.
I got one more game here. I I got the Chargers and the Carolina Panthers. So I want to start. First of all, I hope for a speedy recovery for my boy Tyrod Taylor there. After him, man, it's not funny. Not no.
This man, he's gonna lose his starting job because
man,
Dr. Miami punked him.
Oh man, this is not right. This is just... all right. So moving on to the fantasy portion. I would start Justin Herbert, man. Like I would start him over Carson Wentz right now. You know what I mean? I would start him over a couple of people. So he looks good, man. I'm a roll with him, and I'm a roll with his offensive weapons. Hunter Henry, Keenan Allen. I'm starting both running backs, Eckler and Joshua Kelly, because you can run all over the Carolina Panthers. Jacobs got 3 touchdowns week 1. Week 2, both Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones went off on them. So this is just that team where it's like, start your running backs up against them. And for on the flip side, I'm gonna still roll with Mike Davis. I think if you manage to get him in the waiver wire, I think he's a safe play. I think he'll be utilized. We saw he was utilized in the passing game when McCaffrey went out. So I still like him there. And I'm gonna still roll with DJ Moore. I'm not gonna expect a lot from him, but I do believe he still gets a lot of targets in this game. Robbie Anderson, I'm a little scared of because the Chargers defense, their pass defense is looking pretty legit. So I think I'm going to fade Robbie Anderson on this game. And I'm not even going to mention that other guy. You know that other guy, EJ.
Yeah, he's not, his name, he doesn't deserve our airtime. So I'm not even going to go there. But no, I agree with you just because, they gave Kansas City a hard time throwing the ball. So I don't know. Tough week for offensive players on Carolina.
For sure.
Indeed.
Yep. All right, T. Campbell, take it away, man.
I shall. All right. First up, Tampa Bay versus Denver. I'm gonna start on in the Mile High City.
Okay.
Man, talk about losing some key players. Cortland Sutton going out for the year, and it's like, man, next man up. So it looks like Jerry Jeudy is going to be the guy there now. But interestingly enough, through 2 weeks of football, I pulled some stats. Denver isn't really utilizing him in the red zone so far. Mm-hmm. He's only had two catches with, in that little sweet spot that we call the fantasy football zone, aka the red zone. They're just typically throwing to him out of 3 wide receiver sets. Now, being that they're going to be down a wide receiver, I guess they're going to have to kind of put him in a different place because typically he's getting his catches out of the 3 wide receiver sets and during early downs. But I am this week rolling with Jerry Jeudy. With Sutton out for the rest of the season, I look for him to really increase his targets. Definitely start him if you, for some reason, aren't already. No offense, obviously, Melvin Gordon. On the other side, in Tampa's in first place, man. That first game, it was like, man, Tampa's not going to be what we thought. And then game 2, it was like, wait, maybe they are. It's good enough for first place at this point early in the season. I know it's early, but look, don't let the details get in the way of this story. So here's a little nugget for you in Tampa.
I'm listening.
That'll make you say, I know you damn lying. So check this out, y'all. Through 2 weeks of football in our beloved NFL, Tom Brady has more rushing yards and touchdowns than LaShawn McCoy.
I think I got more rushing touchdowns than LaShawn McCoy.
Sir, when Tom Brady outrushes you in both yardage and touchdowns, you better be a kicker. Matter of fact, you better be the long punt holder guy. You can't be an NFL running back and one with a nickname, by the way. Oh, call me Shady. No, sir. We're gonna call your number to sit down on the bench, and that's what I'm doing this week with LaShawn McCoy. I am not starting this guy.
Yeah.
Sit LaShawn McCoy, and I just don't know. It looks like Fournette is the foregone conclusion number one back in Tampa, which is surprising. At one point it looked like nobody wanted Fournette. He, kind of landed in Tampa, and they threw him right out there. The same week he got off the plane, he was like, "Look, we're going straight to the stadium, Raymond James. We can go into the hotel, nothing." And he's been running ever since. Much to the chagrin of Ronald Jones fans,
Who also
probably.
looks pretty good, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, but he's been, woofing carries and goal line opportunities away from Ronald Jones, whereas going into the season, it was like, man, this is going to be Ronald Jones's, backfield.
Right.
In this game, look for Godwin. If he's, fully back, he's, kind of practiced for the first time in a week or two with both Evans. He and Evans out on the field this week, today, as a matter of fact. If he plays, I look for both of them to have a monster game, because the Broncos team, man, they're banged up. The defense isn't what they used to be. And through the first two games of the season, the Broncos secondary is giving up 437 yards to the receivers through those two games. So I'm looking for Godwin and Evans to have a monster game.
Okay. Yeah, I hear you on that one, man. I'm with you 100%. Jerry Jeudy owners, I wouldn't be scared of Jeff Driscoll. As someone who had Kenny Galladay last year, Jeff Driscoll likes to air it out, man, and he'll get you where you need to be, man. So I'm rolling with some of these pass catchers with some confidence that actually maybe even more confidence than if Drew Lock was passing the ball, just because I know Jeff Driscoll is like Ryan Fitzpatrick's cousin. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't start him, but like the wide receivers for sure, right, I think will benefit. And the pass catchers in general will benefit from it. But, yeah, that's all I got.
I just quick question I'll just get how you guys feel about Tom Brady this year, because I was down on him last week, and I mean, I think he was 217 yards. I think he had one TD, one pick. And with, I'm thinking his receivers might have a big game. You guys thinking that this is the week he finally, do we think he throws for over 300 yards this week? I guess that's my question.
Okay.
Those seem like, the time
right,
like you would want and look for, maybe over 300, 2 touchdowns at least. Do you think we see that version of Tom Brady, or?
I think
go ahead.
I was going to say, I think looking at the stat line, you'll say, oh, same Tom Brady.
Yeah.
What it will, peeling layer down, what you will see is more yak versus him airing it out, and then, receiver getting, 40 yards. I think it'll be a 10-yard turns into a 40-yard type of a thing.
Right.
I think so. His numbers will look similar, but it'll just be accomplished a different way. I think he clearly, showing some frustration in the offense, but I think he's smart enough to kind of correct his errors so he won't be throwing a lot of interceptions this year, but he will be a precision game manager. It'll be the most precise game management that you will see at a quarterback. And I think it'll be enough for them to stay, in the hunt for things.
Yeah. So no, he won't get 300 yards. That's what he said.
That's the question.
He'll get I think he could. I think he could get 300 and 2 touchdowns in this game. I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
I got Godwin, so I need him to do something.
I got Godwin too, so I really need him to do something.
I think they're gonna put him out there this week. This is a good week to do so.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Arizona versus Detroit. Okay, the Motor City looks like Kenny Galladay is headed back to the lineup this week. Finally,
Ooh, man.
I drafted this guy high simply because he's just a fantasy football machine over the last 2 seasons. So I've been like, again, the fantasy football gods hate me. Seemingly everybody that I conspire to, assemble to win the fantasy football championship got hurt. So he's coming back. If he's healthy, I'd start him. I sit every other running back that isn't named Adrian Peterson until the offensive coordinator gives you a reason not to. I just don't. I don't know what they're gonna do at running back. Peterson didn't have a great game last week, but he's just a volume guy. They started to get cute again with mixing up the carousel of running backs this past week, and for Peterson owners, it kind of washed out his opportunities. I think this week they go back to that. I definitely would start T.J. Hawkinson in Detroit. On the other side, Arizona, they're cooking with grease, man. Especially this week in this game. I like Kenyon Drake against the Lions defense. The Lions defense has given up 21 touchdowns and the third most fantasy points since last season. Averaging 36 points per game against running backs since last season. This past week, Aaron Jones ran amok on the entire game. Matt Patricia, shame on you, sir, for not grabbing your defensive coordinator by the throat and demanding that he put 8 in the box to stop this man, Aaron Jones, from taking your lunch. But he didn't do that. And Aaron Jones continued to just run right through the Lions defense. Like I said, Aaron Jones owners last week rejoiced. But Arizona looked for them to exploit that same defense, and for Kenyon Drake to have a really good game against the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, I think if you were looking to buy low on Kenyon Drake, I think your window is closing because I think this is going to be
coming out party.
Yeah, it's going to be a nice game for them. I actually kind of like DeAndre Swift in this game as a desperation flex, only because I think that they will be playing catch up as Detroit does in every single game. Mm-hmm. And I could see him getting, being utilized in the passing game. But again, desperate flex.
Yeah, for sure. Anything, EJ?
I really like Kyler Murray.
Christian Kirk?
Christian Kirk? What's that, Christian?
He's dead to me. Until he can catch more than 4 passes in a game, he will go unmentioned.
Okay.
I really, Kyler Murray, I wish I would have drafted him.
Yeah, me too.
It seems like every week he'll get you at least 250 passing yards. He'll throw a touchdown, and he's probably going to run one in and probably run, for about 70 to 80 yards.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
He's basically, he's like kind of Lamar Jackson light, if you will. Yeah. Just like a shorter version of him.
Or Josh Allen Dark,
Yeah, so I think as the season gets on, he's only going to get better. And I don't know. I really like what he's done so far. So I might try to – I've been thinking about trading for him in the league where I'm not doing it.
Better hurry up.
I need to shake things up. So
you have to have a nice dowry to get him here soon.
Yeah.
All right, next up we got Seattle versus them Cowboys. All right.
Goodness.
Listen, man. Both Dak Prescott and Russell Williams Russell Wilson. Russell Williams. I'm in middle school with Russell Williams. Let me tell you about Russell Williams. Yeah, you should. Okay. So Russell Wilson, both of them are going to be highly rated going into this game. Due to the main reason both of their team defense has been shredded like cabbage in the previous week. Let me throw this at. The Cowboys gave up 380 yards, 4 touchdowns to Atlanta previous week. Seahawks gave up 464 yards and 4 touchdowns to New England. In this game, I'm starting all offensive players on both sides. All the offensive players, even the ones that have been nice to you, not just the offensive ones. I'm starting all of them, okay? So I'm sitting both defenses until either one decides to show up in this season again. The Legion of Boom is dead. The Cowboys D, ain't no D in Dallas. It's the Alice, okay? The Alice Cowboys, because they ain't got no D right now. Pause. So that's what I'm doing on offense. I'm starting all of them. Maybe not Gallup. Okay.
Oh,
maybe not Gallup.
He's
but
Christian Kirk.
Yeah, man. But let me tell you something. Stop playing with yourself. Pause. Start CeeDee Lamb, man. Ain't nothing else to see. He real. It's legit. You ain't got to be like, yeah, but maybe they kind of see the defender fell down. Why you think he fell down? He broke his ankles. Okay? Ankles broken. All right. Start this man. Cooper, start him. All right. So, Prescott, start him. DK Metcalf, all of them, both sides. Carson, start him. Okay. But again, sit both defenses.
For sure. I ain't got nothing to add to that, man. For sure.
Yeah, no, that's about as good as it gets for that game.
Yep.
You know what I mean? All right, moving on. This is one. This is one I like. Green Bay versus New Orleans. Now, the NFC North leading Packers going against Drew Brees and New Orleans Saints. Coming off a tough loss to the Vaders. Now coming to this season, I'll be the first to say, I entertained it. I was like, oh, you got a point. That the Packers was going to take a step back. That Aaron Rodgers was going to, what did he really have other than, Aaron Jones, Devontae Adams,
right.
But the Packers just ain't got enough. Man, it seems like the NFL world, fantasy football world, man, we forget that the Packers were 13-3 last year, good enough to be tied for the best record in the NFC. And first half of the season, it was 7-1. So, this was a good team. Yeah. Now, again, maybe they did it by committee at wide receiver. They were just shuffling in people, and it looked like it was makeshift offense, or I don't know what it was that made us. Somebody, I think Antifa planted that out into the atmosphere that Green
the radical lefts.
You know what I'm saying, was going to take a step back. But let me tell you something, man. Green Bay looked good. Aaron Rodgers looking as good as he's looked. High trade value. I saw a trade in one of my leagues today for Aaron Rodgers, and I was like, ooh, they got you in. Got you. But listen, I'm big on Lazard. I'm big on MVS this week. It looks like Devontae Adams may not play. And even if he does, I'm big on him too. These wideouts against the New Orleans defense, an exploitable New Orleans secondary, which is a highly exploitable defense, averaging 19.5 fantasy points to opposing wide receivers so far. So I'm going with all of the big three if Adams plays in Green Bay. Obviously, the running back, and you're gonna play him. On the New Orleans side, though, where is the Saints' de facto number one wide receiver, Emmanuel Sanders?
I don't know,
Sir,
man.
who that?
He hanging out with he's hanging out with Curtis Samuel, Christian Kirk, and who's that other guy?
Ew, look at my face. Oh my
Michael Gallup.
God. It stank. It's, you know what? His place smells like that dark street when you make that left right after Canal Street. If you're going straight down, right, and you see you make that second left.
Right.
That street right there, that's what his place smelled like after it's rained and after Mardi Gras. That's what it smelled like. This man has 4 receptions on the year for 33 yards. Sir, you are the number 1 wide receiver. You got Drew Brees throwing to you. You got Alvin Pac-Man Kamara catching and running through everything like a madman. Sir, get open. Please, get open. Okay, so let me digress. Look, they're using Kamara so heavily in the absence of, wide receiver help. In this game against Green Bay, I actually like Latavius Murray to get some sneaky goal line opportunities. I also definitely like Jared Cook in this matchup because the wide receiver position is just not really there, consistently enough in the way that we've seen it. I did read a thing that was talking about the impact of Michael Thomas going down, not just his production, but his presence, how the entire New Orleans offense flows through him. And without him there, it just seems disjointed, and Drew Brees doesn't look in sync with anyone. It doesn't look fluid other than Kamara, and Kamara's doing his best McCaffrey impersonation, and it looks amazing. All the cobwebs from last season are gone. He's taking his vitamins. He looks like a man possessed. But I like Latavius Murray and Jared Cook in this particular game.
What about Breeze? Do you like Breeze?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit Breeze. I don't think I would ever sit him unless he's injured.
I'm sitting this week.
I'm not
sitting him for Gardner Minshew this week. Believe it or not.
Man,
I'm doing it.
Listen, it works like this. The Green Bay Packers put up 240 burgers over the last 2 weeks. They're going to put up points, which is going to put the New Orleans offense back on the field, which gives Drew Brees more opportunity to slice and dice. It's going to be ugly. It's not going to be, sexy, but he's just going to dink and dunk, and he's going to get volume, and I wouldn't sit him. The last time I said him was him coming off of that thumb entanglement last year, and he came back and threw like 96 touchdowns in one game. I ain't doing it again. He had to retire. Even after retiring, I'm still gonna start him.
You're still gonna start him? All right.
Still gonna start him. So
I like Traquan Smith this week.
You do? Okay.
I had to play him last week, and I think he caught 5 passes, 86 yards. I think he's gonna do much of the same this week.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, I agree pretty much with everything you guys have said. Their offense has looked out of sync. And I just think, other than, Kamara right now, I think, he's really the best option. And I don't know, Drew Brees, he seems to be like having to I don't know, he seems to struggle to kind of get the ball out there now.
Man, hold up. Damn all that. Let's get to this Monday night game, man.
Hey.
Okay.
Hey,
let's get to this Super Bowl within the AFC. Damn Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. Okay.
For him. That's all I wanted to say.
Let's get to this Kansas City Baltimore Ravens Monday Night Football. This is the game of the week for me.
About it.
Neither defense overall is playing at a high level. I like the Ravens run defense a little bit more so than the unproven KC backfield. Edwards had laughed. He had like a sophomore slump game. We'll see. Listen, when your second leading rusher is your quarterback in Pat Mahomes, you got some problems at running back in Kansas City. So He needs to really step up. I think he gets back on track this week, so I like him to start. I'm sitting Mecole Hardman. I'm starting Sammy Watkins in this game.
Okay.
On the other side, I like Ingram to finally have a good game. The Chiefs are averaging or giving up 21 fantasy points to the running back position. So I like Ingram to bounce back in this game. What y'all got?
I agree with you. I think Baltimore their strategy is going to be run.
Yes, sir.
This game, it makes sense. Kansas City is extremely vulnerable to the run game. And again, the key, it keeps Pat Mahomes off the field. So
That's right.
I like Ingram and I like Dobbins in this game. Man, I still don't know about the wide receivers up in KC. I mean, not KC, but definitely not KC. But in Baltimore. In Baltimore, I still don't know about them. So I'm still gonna fade. But I mean, with all the injuries, I wouldn't be mad if you started Hollywood Brown.
Hollywood. What you got, E?
I guess the only thing I'm looking at in this game, like Gus Edwards, he did pretty well last week, so I just kind of want to see how he factors into the backfield because I thought at the beginning of this season, it was just going to be Ingram, Dobbins, but Gus Edwards came out of nowhere and ran for like 73 yards last week.
He's the Buck Allen of this year,
yes,
man.
Sir.
Yeah.
Buck Allen. Yes.
Yeah,
so, I mean, you just don't know because like they had 4 people who ran for over 50 yards. So it's just, I mean, I like you said, they're run heavy. That's gonna play into what they do. And I still like Hollywood Brown, but like you said, I don't know, it's hit or miss with their receivers.
Yeah.
They run so much. So
okay. All right, well, that pretty much wraps things up for week 3. Continue to check us out here on YouTube and also on Spotify. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram as well. And
Fantasy Football MBAs across all platforms.
MBAs.
Make sure you go back and watch episode 1. This is episode 2 for week
Absolutely.
3 of the NFL week. Check us out, man. We loving the feedback we're getting from you guys. We really appreciate it. Getting a lot of good inboxes and questions. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? Questions. We're going to start reading them, too.
Keep them coming.
We're going to start reading those out and put them in the show.
All right, for sure. But until next time, peace.